Welcome to the Daily Gospel of John. Glad you're watching. Today we're going to look a little further into this account of the man who was born blind but healed by Jesus. We saw yesterday how the Pharisees were questioning him, and they pushed a little further with their inquisition today. The Jews still did not believe that he had been blind and had received his sight until they sent for the man's parents. "Is this your son?" they asked. "Is this the one you say was born blind? How is it that now he can see?" "We know he is our son," the parents answered, "and we know he was born blind, but how he can see now or who opened his eyes we don't know. Ask him, he is of age, he will speak for himself." His parents said this because they were afraid of the Jews, for already the Jews had decided that anyone who acknowledged that Jesus was the Christ would be put out of the synagogue. That is why his parents said, "He is of age, ask him." Okay, whoever acknowledged that Jesus was the Christ would be put out of the synagogue. Basically, this meant being excommunicated from the whole society, spiritually, socially, financially, shunned, excommunicated. It was a big deal. And these Pharisees, now again, when John typically speaks of the Jews, he's speaking there specifically of the Pharisees and Sadducees, the Jewish ruling council, the Sanhedrin, the Jews. The people that they were threatening here were also Jews, but John is referring to them as the Jews, as the leadership. So here they're doing their little inquisition. What happened? We don't believe you were healed, even though you and these other people are saying we need to talk to your parents. So his parents come and they're afraid. I don't want to be too hard on these people, because I've never been put in the situation of someone saying, "Oh, you want to believe in Jesus? Okay, well, you'll have to hand over your bank account, the deed to your house, and you'll lose your job and all your friends. Okay, fine, you go ahead and believe in Jesus." Well, I've never had to deal with that, and it's easy for me to blab about how these people were cowardly and they caved in. We can look at it and say, yes, they were. They didn't know Jesus yet, though, either. But they were afraid. These people had full authority over their lives. And we've seen it repeated over and over and over in history that, in general, the masses of people, when push comes to shove, all people's noble ideas go out the window when threatened with loss of life or property or job. And more often the case, people will go with the flow in order to get along. And it's a sad thing. It's a sad thing when we see it in a movie. It's a sad thing when we read it in history, and how we celebrate and admire the person who stands up to the injustice, who stands up against the flow and does what is right. But most of us have never been in that situation where we have felt such a powerful threat, at least most of us who live in the United States. We felt pressure, though, and the kind of peer pressure kids feel growing up, and that in itself is hard. But hopefully, unlike the parents of this young man, we would not shrink away, but we would be willing to stand up and speak the truth as the blind man did, and we'll see more of that tomorrow. Well, thanks for watching. God bless.